Wi-Fi Sheep would like to say a huge thank you to all of you that kindly support us. Help us continue to bring new videos like this. Join patreon.com/Wi-Fi Sheep from just $1 a month. Hello and welcome back to Wi-Fi Sheep right here on YouTube with me, Tom. Before I get started, I just want to give a very special warm welcome to all the new subscribers that have joined us since the last video. Thank you so much for subscribing to Wi-Fi Sheep, and I really hope you're going to enjoy the content, not only on the channel at the moment, but all the stuff we've got planned coming up in the near future. So today we're going to have a look at another running series here on the channel. That is the C64. If you're not familiar with what that is, we have a playlist which is on screen now, but I'll just give you a quick overview as to exactly what the product is. So the C64 is a 2019 clone of the Commodore 64 Breadbin 8-bit MOS 6502 based home computer. However, although it looks like a Commodore 64 and it plays Commodore 64 software, it isn't actually from a hardware perspective. Inside it's just a 32-bit ARM chip, so there's no SID chip, no real processor, no RAM chips, so it's not a hardware clone, it's only a software clone, which means you can't run original Commodore hardware with the C64. Now, since we last looked at the C64, there's been a few developments, especially with the firmware and updates for the device from the manufacturing company, that's Retro Games Limited. Now, I'm just going to stress I'm in no way sponsored or involved or endorsed of Retro Games Limited. My one was actually bought for me as a present for a family member, so somebody somewhere down the line paid full price for it, and we've been sort of playing around with the system ever since. So the new firmware, which was originally released around Christmas, but then was patched very quickly because apparently there was a problem, so I think it's around January, February it got patched. The new firmware version at time of recording is version 1.5.2, and that's the ROM we're going to look at and flash to the device today. I'm hoping this is going to fix a few issues. Apparently it adds a few more games and a few more features, but I'm also hoping it's going to fix some issues, because I've been having problems with my C64 not actually booting up when you power it up, and also the keyboard not recognising, not initialising on boot up. I'm really hoping that this isn't the start of a major problem that's going to bring down the system, because my unit is actually now out of its warranty. So if it breaks, well, I guess I'll be putting a Raspberry Pi inside it. But I really hope it doesn't. I really hope we can carry on using the original hardware that's meant to come with. Anyway, let's get to work and let's update the C64. So first, let's get the latest firmware download for the C64. So I'm over at retrogames.biz, which is the official website for Retro Games Limited, and I think we hit products. It doesn't actually matter which one, either Mini, C64 or VIC-20 that you click at this point, but as we've got the C64, we'll go down this road. So we'll click that button, and there's a sort of tab option here for upgrade the C64, and you can see here the latest version at time recording is 1.5.2.bin, which is the binary. So we'll download that file. They're using Google Drive as the host, so we'll just click to download. And that's now downloading in the corner. So we can close that tab. So quick look at what they've done. So they've fixed a cover image problem that was with the previous version that I've actually completely skipped, because this all happened around Christmas 2020. Improvement on joystick support, classic mode now on the Mini. Bearing in mind this is the same disk image that's used for all the products at the moment. Yes, you've got 2 new C64 games and 2 new VIC-20 games, and I think it's exactly the same for the VIC-20, which is effectively a V64 just with a different or slightly different firmware front end. Okay, so that's now downloaded. Okay, so first things first, I put my USB flash drive that we've been using exclusively with the C64. That is formatted to DOS FAT32 format. Very important, it's formatted to FAT32. And you can see we've got the directories here. My download, which I think is on the desktop. Too much on the desktop. There we go. So version 152, and we'll click and we just drag this binary file over to the USB flash drive. And you can actually see here's the previous updates I've done, and there is the new bin file. So, and that is all we actually have to do here on the PC or Mac side. So we'll eject the USB flash and we'll head over to the actual C64. Here is my VC64 setup again. Now, I haven't really been using this unit that much, if I'm honest. It hasn't been out in a while, and despite not getting much use, it's already been having some technical problems. As I mentioned in the introduction, it doesn't boot properly for starters. So I was using a Raspberry Pi 3 power supply with it, and I switched that back to using an unofficial Pi 2 power supply, which is 5 volts, 2 amps. It's still more amps than the original supply, but I think if you run it at less than 2 amps, it just seems underpowered. So I don't know if that's causing a problem or not. It shouldn't be. It's still 5 volts. But anyway, so this hasn't been on in months. I don't think I've used this pretty much since the last project we did for Wi-Fi Sheep. So it's been a good 6 months. Anyway, it's connected to a capture device to be able to see on screen what I see. Hopefully this will work. So let's put the power supply on. And let's see if it'll actually boot. Okay, it will this time, that's good. Well, the lights come on. Promising start. Okay. I think my aspect ratio is not correct on my television. No, it's not. There we go. So, okay, well that's promising. Let me get a controller to use this. You can do it via a keyboard, but I can't remember the commands offhand. So I use these clone SNES controllers, USB, because I just can't stand the joystick. So let's get the USB in the right way around. There we go. The other problem sometimes is the keyboard not initializing, but that actually looks fine. There we go. Options. So let's put the USB stick in, the one that we've loaded the new firmware on. It should identify it as a USB stick. It has down the bottom. So if we now go, we need to go to System, and it has now found the firmware, and we do want to apply the firmware. So we'll say apply, and there we go. It's installing. Well, it's copying it across. A reboot. Now I have mine set up to boot straight into sort of classic Commodore modes that go straight to the command prompt, or basic basically. Let's go back to options. Let's have the carousel mode. So I'm trying to think what did they say was new on this? Let's just have a quick look. That's new. 2020. That's a VIC-20 game. That's new. That was on here originally. And that's everyone that's new. Let's have a quick look at that then. Well, there's a bit of emulated SID for you. here a minute, so I have no idea what I'm doing, I'll be honest with you, but it looks interesting. It plays alright on the D-pad, so yeah. Let's exit that. Another one which I'm assuming this is, yeah, a classic Snake game from CBM Pet. So let's have a look at that then. Okay, I'm not quite... Aren't I meant to be having something you're meant to eat? Oh right, got to eat the numbers. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think this is, I said VIC-20, I think this is, looking at the font, I think this is actually running in native C64 mode. Because it's quite a higher screen resolution, more characters on the screen, so yeah, okay. The key, that one looks new as well, definitely. The key VIC-20, let's have a look at that one. Yeah, that's VIC-20. What happens now? Oh, right. Oh gosh, look at that. Tiny resolution, but look at that ray casting on a VIC-20. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know what I'm doing, but to be fair, that is, it's a oh, some sort of button or something. Okay, and there's a map, and I don't know what the Nazi insignia is, unless this is trying to be a bit of sort of Wolfenstein type thingy. Your guess on that is as good as mine. My D-pad on this clone controller is really squeaky. Okay, oh no, I've got a key. Is that a key? To be fair, they're getting this to work in a VIC-20 is impressive. That won't open for some reason. And that won't. We've got some sort of lamp countdown or something. So yeah, I've got to investigate how these games work. But no, that's actually that's quite cool. That so they've got these maps. Is that me then? Is it the little sort of what? Yes, it is. Okay. We'll just exit out of that. So hopefully that might have actually fixed some of the issues I was having with the firmware related stuff with the C64, and it might actually be a little bit more reliable. It could be the switcher power supply. Maybe it doesn't like 2.5 amps and it has issues. I don't know. But no, I'm quite pleased with that. The keyboard is working again, which is great. So there we are, success. I'm really happy that I seem to have fixed some things, and some of the new VIC-20 software, because bearing in mind both the VIC-20 and the C64 can run each other's programs, I really look forward to actually playing with some of these games, and hopefully the system will now be a little bit more stable and we won't be having the recurrence of the problems I was having. I'm not sure if that's firmware or if it's the power supplies I'm using. I'll be interested if you've got similar experiences or suggestions. You can drop those in the comments to this video. If you haven't done already, do check out the playlist for all Commodore and VC64 stuff we've got going on here on the channel. Links to that are in the description. And also, if you haven't done already, please do like and subscribe to us right here on the channel. So as always, really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your company, and I will see you real soon right here on the channel. Until next time, bye for now.